Hello, girls. How are you? I hope you're doing great. Now, since we're done with our story, The Titanic, you read the story carefully, you analyzed all the questions, you studied them by heart, you went through all the vocabulary words, the new words, the high frequency words. So now we're going to revise from our reading booklets, page 228. Here we have the unsinkable wreck of the RMS Titanic, and the theme of the story is adventures, or how does technology help adventurers reach new places? And we already answered this question. It's the big question, concept question. So here you have the author and the illustrator, Richard Johnson. The genre of the story is an expository text, and we said before that an expository text recounts a true event or series of events, and that this genre is usually organized by text features like photos, photographs, pictures, graphs, timelines, which may include technical vocabulary as well. Remember the technical vocabulary we tackled in this selection. Remember the bow of of the ship is the front part, and we also knew the other technical term, stern. Stern is the back of the ship. Okay, so we use graphics, we use photographs, we use captions, and these are a technical vocabulary, and these things support the genre, okay, and they are called text features. So the setting of the story is the time or the place. So the time was April 10th, 1912 till April 15th, 1912. Now let's revise the high frequency words. We have the first word, cramped. Cramped means it's an adjective which means shut into a small space. Debris. Debris is a noun which means scattered fragments or ruins or remains. When do you find debris? You find debris after an earthquake, after a tornado, after a hurricane, after a parade. These are things that are thrown and scattered everywhere. Remember the debris of the Titanic, the things that remained after the wreckage of the Titanic. We have the word interior. Interior is a noun which means inner surface or part, inside, and it's a noun, of course. Ooze is a noun which means soft mud or slime, especially at the bottom of the pond, river, or the ocean. Robotic is an adjective which means made or moved by a computer. Remember Jason Jr. in our story. So we have the word sediment. Sediment is the material that settles to the bottom of a liquid, and it's a noun. Okay, so sonar. Sonar is a device for finding the depth of water or locating underwater objects. Okay, sonar is a noun, of course. Here is a summary about the summary of the story. 74 years after the Titanic's tragic collision with an iceberg, two explorers took the mini submarine Alvin 2.5 miles down to the ocean's bottom to view the wreck of the Titanic. They were the first people to ever see the wreckage. They found that the ocean floor was littered with personal items that serve to this day as a reminder of the accident. Here, the first question we have, answer the following questions. How well do the photographs and captions support the author's opinion that the Titanic was the greatest shipwreck of all time? How do the photographs and the captions, remember that I said the photographs, timelines, all those things are text evidence used in an expository text. How do they support the author's opinion about the Titanic, that it was one of the greatest shipwreck of all time? Okay, the answer is that they show how big the Titanic was. You saw that in the pictures. And how fast it sank. The reader can conclude that thousands of lives must have been lost, since it is a very big ship. making the wreck a great tragedy. And since many lives were lost, of course, the wreck is a great tragedy. So, the second question, what can you infer from the words too few lifeboats? What can you tell? What can you conclude from this? What can you infer from this phrase, too few lifeboats? I can infer that whoever planned the voyage may have believed that the Titanic was perfectly safe. Nobody would ever believe that it would sink. Remember the title of the story, it's The Unsinkable. Okay, nobody would ever believe that it would sink one day. So they thought, or everybody thought, that it was perfectly safe and that the passengers wouldn't need any lifeboats. I can also infer that most of the people died because of too few lifeboats. And since it's unsinkable, so there were too few lifeboats because nobody would ever believe that this would happen. Fill in the blanks using the following words. This is page 29. I need you to go through the exercise on your own, answer it on your own, and then check your answers from the PDF, from the PDF file. So here we have debris from the devastated aircraft was scattered over a large area. We have 16 desks in this classroom, so we are rather cramped and have no space for more desks. Remember, cramped means shut down in a small space. The interior is very impressive, wonderful leather seats and a wooden dashboard. The car's interior, remember, from inside. Ooze is a thick brown liquid made of earth and water, mud, which means mud, found at the bottom of a river or lake. A sonar is used to discover how deep the water is or the position of an object in the water, such as a group of fish. There was brown sediment in the bottom of the bottle. Please cross the A here. We cannot count the sediment. Okay, then robotic science is specialized, cross the in making and using robots. Now take your time to use the following words in meaningful sentences on your own and then check the sentences you have here. You have the word cramped. The kitchen was small and cramped. Ooze, light rain fell and suddenly everything was coated with ooze. Robotic is an adjective. Robotic technology is greatly advancing nowadays. Sediment, the sediment settled and the water was clear. Settled means it went down to the bottom, for example, of the river or of the glass or of the cup. We picked up 2 submarines on sonar. The original interior of the hotel has been replaced. Emergency teams are still clearing the debris from the plane crash.